Ever wondered about capital cities that seem more like ghost towns than bustling metropolises? Picture this: capitals with a population that's barely a fraction of what you'd expect. The top 10 emptiest capitals have a combined population that's just a fraction of places like Phoenix. But why are these cities so deserted? And what's the tale behind their emptiness? Join us as we uncover the mysteries behind these tiny capitals. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe as we explore the 10 emptiest capital cities in the United States. So, without further ado, let's begin. Number 10. Concord, New Hampshire stands as an intriguing example. While Manchester, New Hampshire's bustling hub flourishes with a population of approximately 115,000, Concord contrasts starkly, housing only about 44,500 residents. That's a mere 3% of the entire state's population, painting a picture of a capital city that seems almost snug within the state's landscape. But what's the backstory behind this significant population difference? New Hampshire's economic landscape, with its limited industrial base compared to neighboring states, plays a crucial role in capping the growth potential of its cities. The state's charm lies in its rural appeal, drawing folks away from urban settings. Historical cities like Boston and New York rapidly expanded along the coast due to thriving trade, leaving inland cities like Concord in their shadows. Number 9. Jefferson City, Missouri comes into focus next, boasting a modest population of only 42,528 residents. Positioned strategically at the heart of Missouri, one might expect robust growth, but Jefferson City has faced stagnation since the late 1800s. Despite its central location, it struggles to compete with the global recognition garnered by neighboring cities like St. Louis and Kansas City. St. Louis gained worldwide acclaim as the host of the 1904 World's Fair and the Olympic Games, while Kansas City flourished into a vibrant jazz hub in the 1930s. These cultural milestones have possibly diverted attention and growth away from Jefferson City. Number 8. Annapolis, Maryland takes its place on this intriguing list with a remarkably petite population of 4,648, surrounded by the grandeur of Baltimore, bustling with around 570,000 residents, and the monumental presence of Washington, D.C., boasting over 72,000 inhabitants. Annapolis finds itself overshadowed. Imagine being a capital city overshadowed not by one, but by two neighboring metropolises, with populations 14 to 17 times larger, respectively. Once the capital of the colonial United States, Annapolis's historical significance is undeniable. However, with the relocation of the nation's capital to Washington, D.C., Annapolis might have experienced a gradual decline in relevance and population. Number 7. Dover, Delaware stands with a population of 38,559 residents, which might seem sparse at first glance, yet this might be easily explained when considering the broader context of Delaware's population. As the sixth least populated state in the U.S., Delaware itself is home to only around 1 million people. This entire state's population is substantially less than the colossal population of Phoenix, which boasts about 1.6 million residents. Consequently, Dover's relatively small populace might merely reflect the state's overall diminutive population. However, it's intriguing to note that Dover, despite being the state capital, is outpaced in population by Wilmington, nearly doubling Dover's inhabitants. Additionally, while not necessarily scientifically conclusive, online chatter speculates that Dover might not be the most appealing place to reside, as shared in a recent Reddit forum where a user described it as less desirable. Number 6. Helena, Montana stands out with a population of approximately 33,185 residents, drawing attention due to Montana's overall sparse population. With Montana having the third lowest population density in the entire U.S., the contrast with densely populated states like New Jersey is astounding. However, despite Montana's overall low population density, Helena's population size remains smaller than 5 other cities in the state. Its history, deeply rooted in the discovery of gold in 1864, sparked a gold rush, attracting hopefuls in search of wealth. By 1869, an estimated $18 million worth of gold was extracted from the Helena area, leading to the city's official designation as the capital in 1875. Nevertheless, as the gold reserves diminished, so did Helena's population. Number 5. Juneau, Alaska, emerges as a focal point with a population of 31,685, echoing the sparsity typical of Alaska. Alaska bears the lowest population density in the U.S., a mere 1.28 people per square mile compared to New Jersey's density, making up just 0.1% of the most densely populated state. Juneau's population, while not insignificant, is overshadowed by two other cities in Alaska, one nearly 9 times larger. Geographically isolated, Juneau stands apart on Alaska's map, accessible only by air or sea. Its lack of a direct road connection sets it apart, a unique circumstance contributing to its relatively modest population. Number 4. Frankfort, Kentucky, boasts a historical legacy as a capital since Kentucky's inception in 1792. Despite this heritage, Frankfort's present-day population remains relatively small, housing only 28,391 residents. Surprisingly, there are 13 other cities in Kentucky surpassing Frankfort in size. One contributing factor to Frankfort's size might stem from its overshadowing by more economically bustling neighbors like Louisville and Lexington. Louisville's strategic location along the Ohio River spurred significant growth, acting as a vital port and transportation hub. Similarly, Lexington's development as a major horse breeding and trading center led to substantial economic advantages, eclipsing Frankfort's growth. Despite its smaller size, Frankfort persevered through challenges, enduring fires that ravaged its Capitol building not once but twice, showcasing a resilient spirit despite being overshadowed by its more prosperous neighbors. Number 3. Augusta, Maine, with a population of just over 19,000, is emblematic of the impact of geographical location on city growth. Chosen as Maine's capital due to its central positioning within the state, Augusta's inland location might be the primary reason behind its modest population. Historically, cities along the coast like Boston and New York thrived due to their roles as transportation and trade hubs, leading to faster growth compared to inland cities. This trend seems to extend to the preference of residents in coastal states for living closer to the ocean, a pattern evident in Maine, where 12 other cities larger than Augusta are either on or closer to the ocean. Interestingly, Portland was Maine's initial capital in 1820, but concerns during the War of 1812 about Portland's vulnerability as a coastal city led to the decision to relocate the capital inland to Augusta for greater protection. Number 2. Pierre, South Dakota, maintains a small population of around 14,000 residents, aligned with South Dakota's low population density, ranking 5th among states with only 11.81 people per square mile. This sparse population seems to echo the value placed on space within the state. Historically, when South Dakota became a separate entity from the Dakota Territory in 1889, Pierre was chosen as the capital mainly due to its central location in the state. However, Pierre's population size doesn't necessarily reflect its ability to attract a large populace, with 8 other cities in South Dakota boasting higher populations. Number 1. Montpelier, Vermont, epitomizes the concept of a small town capital. Vermont, devoid of major cities, boasts Burlington as its largest city, yet it remains modest with a population of less than 45,000. Montpelier, on the other hand, stands out with a remarkably small population of only 8,023 residents, making it more of a capital town than a bustling city. Its size can be attributed to several factors, notably its limited economic diversity. Government dominates Montpelier's workforce, accounting for 30% of jobs, followed by 24% in the service industry, like supporting the government workforce, and 18% in fire insurance and real estate. Additionally, Montpelier faces a housing shortage with demand outstripping supply, stunning its population growth. When a city lacks adequate housing, it impedes people from relocating there, further constraining population growth. And that's a wrap for today. thank you for joining us today as we count down to the top 10 emptiest capital cities in the United States. From Concord to Montpelier, we've uncovered fascinating stories behind these smaller yet significant capitals. What do you think drives the population differences among these capitals? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you've enjoyed exploring these unique cities with us, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more of our content. And while you're at it, hit the bell button as well to stay updated for our future uploads. Once again, thanks for watching and we'll see you in our next video.